Hello, everybody. Rob Cootie here. Today is Monday, the 23rd of August, the last week of August. Who would have thought? Man, this is hard to believe. Anyway, we're on the verge of fall. That is a great thing. I love fall. But at the same time, where did the summer go? As you know, we go live each and every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. If you want to find us and if you want to help our fellow network marketers across the globe find us, please share our hashtag with them. As if you don't know already, it is hashtag the MLM Solution. Once again, hashtag the MLM Solution. And when you visit our website, please hit the share button, themlmsolution.net, themlmsolution.net. All right. With that being said, today's subject is going to be a good one. It is your business is going to mimic the company's activities. If you want to have a crystal ball to kind of look into what your business has the potential to be or what potential problems going to have, guess what? Your business is pretty much going to mimic the company's activities, good or bad. Wow, what an insight, right? And we're going to talk about that today because how powerful is that? Of all the things that we've talked about, this has to be one of the most insightful and one of the most powerful, and I guarantee you're not going to find people talking about this. So with that being said, join us today as we take a deep dive into that once again at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There it is on the ticker right now on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel. I'm going to hop off of here so we can get started.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie and Marie Cannon.
Happy Monday, Miss Marie. Happy Monday. How are you doing today?
Well, it is indeed a Monday. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Had a great weekend. Feeling better all the time. That's really good. I don't know what's different, but I feel better than I have in a long time on a consistent basis. I was having, a couple of good days, and then I'd have a couple of rough days. And who doesn't when they get older, right? So it wasn't anything to complain about. But for whatever reason, I don't know why, I'll take it.
That's good to hear. It's good. It's good to feel better than bad.
Yes. So with that being said, how was your weekend?
I was pretty good. Had some fun times with friends. Went and saw an interesting show that was Cirque du Soleil-like, but not quite. Great message for kids. That was a lot of fun. So,
That's awesome.
Good weekend.
That's awesome. Well, there you go. It helps make Monday better, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I'm not superstitious. You know that. But I got to admit, every once in a while, there are Mondays that make you question whether superstition exists or not. I don't know if it's the biorhythms. I'm not sure. I don't even know if I believe in biorhythms. I think there are. But the point is, something's amiss on certain Mondays. So I'm glad that you had a good weekend because it helps make Mondays better.
Well, Mondays are always rough, right? Because for most people, it's like, got to go back to work. The weekend's over. You got the whole week stretching in front of you.
Yeah.
And if you're in a job that you work Monday through Friday that you're not exactly thrilled about, it makes it a little rough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think Monday gets kind of a bad rap.
Sometimes. I think it earns it. It earns its stripes more times than not. All right, with that being said, we have an interesting topic today, Miss Marie. As you know, you're the one that comes up with these, and how your business mimics the company's activities. You and I had talked about this, and it's one of those subject matters that we said, okay, we'll get to it eventually, and here we are. But it's one of the more important ones because if you're going to have a crystal ball, as I said in the intro, on what your future business activity may be, all you have to do is look what's going on with the company. We're going to talk about that here in a moment. We're going to take a deep dive. Who would not want to be able to foretell the future? Because look, if you could, think of the money you could make, right? Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? We're going to talk about that and show you the money-making opportunities that would be available. But before we do, as always, we let you know about our upcoming live events. Miss Marie and Miss Marie, I will be sending you documents here very shortly. Miss Marie and I are working on making this happen. And we're going through a checklist to make sure that we cover all of the important bases, and so that when we make decisions, they're educated decisions. The point is that we're moving ahead and doing what we can to make this a reality. We are both very excited about it. We both like doing it, don't we, Miss Marie?
Oh, absolutely. We're looking forward to being able to gather in person again.
That's right.
Good times.
That's right. And we may look at a viral event, but we'll talk about that, Miss Marie and I, and we'll see what the pros and cons are of that, but we'll keep you posted. Well, how do we keep you posted? That's the purpose of what you see on the screen. For all you on the podcast, is an image of our registration page for our live events. Okay, now whether we do the live events online or in person is yet to be determined. Our number one goal and number one priority is to do it in person, but we shall see how that unfolds, okay? For all you on the podcast, all you have to do is go to MLMmastersacademy.com. Once again, MLMmastersacademy.com. Go there, register. As you know, we say it all the time, no shenanigans. You're just going to get on the list, and on that list, you're just going to be updated and be kept abreast of the progress and activities that we're taking to make this a reality one way or the other. All right, the first 100 people that not only register but also attend, whether it's a viral event or a live person event, are going to be treated to some very special things. You will not be, you'll be very happy that you were one of the first 100. Let me put it that way. And if you register right now, there is no money necessary. Okay, so I want to make that clear. And with that being said, that leads us to our next thing we want to talk about, which is always important and one of Miss Marie's favorite products, and that is what? The 4 critical mistakes most networkers make and how to overcome them. Guys, most of you, if not all of you, that are listening to this, chances are great that you are making one, if not all 4 of these mistakes. If you are, I can promise you, and once you get this information, you'll see what I'm saying. You are undermining the very success that you're trying to put into place. You may have short-term success, but you're going to have long-term failure because it's going to end up coming back and biting you in the butt after all the hard work. You don't want that to happen. You want to move forward and try to keep together what you have worked so hard to put into place. Well, you've got to have the proper knowledge, and it all starts with reading the right material and having access to the right information, and it's right here in front of you right now, the 4 critical mistakes. As you can see, it's a limited time offer, okay? It is normally $29.95. You can get it right now for the next 24 hours for only $15.95, 50% off. Who doesn't love to save money? We do that so that you do save money, okay? And it's worth more than the $29.95. I'll tell you that right now. But in the package, you get 1 video, 1 audio, 1 ebook, and plus you get hundreds of dollars worth of bonuses. You can't beat the total package. Matter of fact, you cannot get anything like this anyplace else. Right, Miss Marie?
That is correct. Currently not available anywhere else.
Oh, no, there's no way. No way. We're so far ahead of our competition, if we even have any. I don't even know if we have any. But we're so far ahead of them, it's not even funny in regards to bringing proper information to the masses. All right, with that being said, today's topic, podcast number 238, we're almost at that magical 300 number. I'm so excited. How your business mimics the company's activities. What are we saying there exactly? Well, here's what happens. Think about it. And guys, you're going to have to, for all of you listening to the podcast, and I guess in the visual as well, we're not going to use any visual aids here. You're going to have to use your mind's eye and to envision what I'm going to be talking about here. Imagine, if you will, you join a new company, all right? And for the most part, you pretty much know what a new company is going to go through. It's going to go through growing pains. It's going to go through challenges. It's going to go through expansion. It's going to possibly add new product to its product line in the future. And it may, hopefully not, but it may have to make adjustments to the comp plan. All of these are things that you should know. If you've been listening to our podcast at all, you will know that these are things we talk about quite a bit, right, Miss Marie? For good reason. So what we have is a situation where we are educating you what to watch out for, right? Well, a company knows it's coming too, but here's the thing. Typically they have experience in the front office, vast experience, more times than not, that not only have been through these things, but they know how to avoid them, which is their number one priority. Let's not go through it all if we can help it. But if they have to overcome it or to minimize it where it has the least impact as possible. Well, why is that important to you as a business builder? You're just focusing on what? The 5 simple steps, right? You don't care what the company's doing, right? Because we teach you the company is not your friend. The company's number one goal is to survive and to make profits, okay? And if you're going to be a team player, that's awesome. But if you're going to be a threat to that growth and that stability, then guess what? You're going to be a fly in the ointment. We talked about that. You can go back and search our podcast for that particular episode to see what we're talking about. But what we're talking about here is that you want to keep one eye on the company and one eye on your business. Why? Because as the company says, okay, guess what? We're going to make an adjustment to the comp plan. That is going to have a ripple effect. And it is going to impact your business, okay, in so many ways. We did an episode on that. We're not going to go into deep detail here because we, once again, did an episode. And all you have to do is just do a search on, I think that was comp plan, wasn't it, Miss Marie? You just use the words comp plan in a search in a bar, and I promise you it'll come up. I don't even know what episode it is, but we talk about that, the impact that changing of a comp plan can have on your business, the pros and the cons. Well, guess what? When a company, if word starts spreading from reliable sources that there may be a comp plan change coming, what is that telling you? It's a crystal ball. What does that tell you as a business builder? Not to ignore it, to what? Be prepared. How do you be prepared? You either have to use your own knowledge or use our information or use somebody that you are working with that has knowledge of, from a past experience in this area that would say, hey, this is how you handle this. And what you do, and we always revert back to it because it's one of the basics of life, but it's also one of the most proactive things you could ever do. Because people are always going to say, why didn't you tell me? Even if it's painful, you should have told me. Well, that's what you got to do. Communication is absolutely the cornerstone of our world as human beings. And guess what? Proper communication is necessary in certain situations, and it is in bad situations as well. Does it mean that the comp plan change will be bad? No, there's a lot of good, right, Miss Marie, where they make adjustments for the better. Okay, we're not saying that it's going to be bad. So what you do is you get your leaders together on a leadership call. We talked about this in a previous episode, and you tell them about it, what's coming on the comp plan, and basically when. Okay, now you want to make sure before you do this that the information is reliable and that it is accurate. You do not want to be spreading rumors in your downline. Okay. And as we say, you do not ever, don't ever pass negative downline. Okay. Now you say, well, if their comp plan change is going to be bad, that is negative. No. Factual information is not in this certain situation when it affects people's pay is not gossip. It is not negative. It's going to have a negative impact on certain people, but not everybody. Okay. Because Miss Marie, if they make a change and say, well, we're going to take some money from the top leaders and we're going to put it in the transitional area, well, guess what? The top leaders are going to be upset and the transitional people are going to be happy, right? So it's not always totally bad. Right, Ms. Marie?
Well, right. And the company always has reasons behind what it's doing. A lot of it has to do, of course, with the survival of the company, which you need in order for your business to grow and be successful as well. So odds are it's not going to be a huge negative. Right.
Okay. So now you say, Rob, what's your point? You've already talked about this. Yes, I have. And how is this company change going to have an impact? I can see where it's going to have a ripple effect on my business. It is. But here's what I'm saying. You got to understand that your business is a small mirror of the company at large. What happens with the company at large is going to impact not only your business, but everybody else's too. What you want is the minimum of damage as possible if these changes take place, regardless of what it is. Okay, and what you got to do is, in order for that to happen, in other words, the least amount of damage as possible is communication. And you have to realize that certain people are going to be upset in your downline and certain people are going to be happy. And that's just the way it is. Very few people are going to be totally happy, right, Ms. Marie? So you have to be prepared as a leader to accept the good and the bad, all right? So when you go out there and you talk to them, and you're going to have this ripple effect. Now that we're not going to get into that, as I said, because we already talked about that. Now you say, how does that relate to this subject of today? What do you think is going to happen to the company at large? Let's say they have a distributor force of 50,000. How many do you think of that 50,000 are going to be upset? Right, Ms. Marie? It's going to be pretty much the same percentage that you're going to have in your own business, because the numbers don't lie. The numbers work their magic no matter what. They don't care if it affects 50,000 or 5,000. Right, Miss Marie? The numbers are going to do what they do. And you say, Rob, what does that mean? Well, maybe the 80-20 rule applies here. Maybe the 97.3% applies here. You don't know. 97% of the people could be happy and 3% could be upset. Right, Miss Marie? Or 20% of the people could be happy and the 80% are upset. Okay, you don't know the numbers yet, but here's the thing. They're going to happen. Okay? And the only thing you can do as a leader for your own business, you can't worry about the company. The company's worried about the 50,000 distributor force. You got to worry about your 5,000. And you got to get out in front of it, and you got to communicate to your leaders, and then tell your leaders this is exactly what you got to tell your downline. Do not change it, because if you do, you're going to cause problems. Okay. Now that's all you can do. You can't force your downline to tell the same story that you're telling. But here's what you do as a leader: you put it on your website. And if you don't have a website as a leader of 5,000 people, you got a problem, because you got to have what, Ms. Merlin? A media outlet. Is that not true?
Yeah, you have to have a main way of communicating with.
That's right. You communicate with your leaders in private, not because you're hiding anything, because they're your leaders. It's no different than a board meeting. Okay, they bring all the managers of the different departments all together. They don't invite everybody. They disseminate that information to the leaders, and it's a leader's job to go out and mimic that information to their workers. Right, Ms. Marie? It is no different here. All right. So you get your leaders together, you tell them, and then what you do is you go on the website and you say, hey, important release. I just informed your leadership. Please get with them. And you tell them, right, Ms. Marie, because you don't want any miscommunication. Okay. Now you give your leaders, 24 hours. Say, hey, guys, I'm going to put it up on the website and give you 24 hours to get this information out. Because Ms. Marie, you want to make sure there's clear communication. And why do you do that? Because if you've ever been in school, the teacher says, I'm going to start right here. And they tell the first person the first role, and they whisper in their ear, say hello. And by the time it gets to the last person, say hello to the Russians on Mars. Okay, that's the story, right, Ms. Marie?
Yep, the old telephone gang.
There you go.
The message doesn't quite get through as clearly at the end as it was at the beginning.
Okay, there it is. So you got to take responsibility as a leader to make sure that information is clear and concise. How do you do that? By having a website. Just a plain old website. No fancy, but just something you can communicate with your people. Right, Ms. Marie?
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so here's the thing. You say, okay, this whole scenario, in other words, you're saying that if your business gets word, or you get word that there's going to be a change in the comp plan, you're going to let your leaders know that it's going to affect your business in XYZ way. That is correct. And it's going to do the same thing to the company. That's correct. Okay. And you say, well, in this example, that you knew first. Well, no, the company knew. They just hadn't released it yet. You're getting out ahead of it because you don't want your people to be caught off guard and you look like a fool because you weren't informed. Right, Ms. Marie?
Right.
Okay. You don't wait for the company to do it unless they actually ask you not to do it. All right. And that is up to you, obviously, but I would go with the company because you don't want to be on the bad side of the company. All right. All right. So with that being said, here's the thing. If they're going to go into a new country, the same thing applies. And you say, well, what do you mean? What do you think the company's doing on a large scale? They're getting prepared, right, Ms. Marie? They're working hard behind the scenes to develop contacts in these new countries that they're going to go into. What are you doing? The exact same thing. What did we do? We had an episode on this the other day, right, Ms. Marie?
Yep.
Sponsor people that have contacts. Because guess what? Ms. Marie was told behind closed doors that they're going to go into Japan on XYZ date. And Ms. Marie's like, oh, cool. So she immediately starts focusing in her prospecting process people that either are from Japan or have contacts in Japan, right, Ms. Marie?
Right.
So what is the company doing? The company is doing what? They're contacting people in Japan saying, hey, who do we have to talk to get through customs? Who do we talk to that can help us legally get into Japan? They're working, even though they're not prospects, what they're doing is they're prospecting for people who have contacts to help them get that product, that company into Japan in a legal, ethical way, right, Ms. Marie?
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear the companies going into a country, they are doing. And so that tells you right away what your business is going to go through. In other words, the company is prepping to go into Japan. What are you doing? Right away, Miss Marie says, I got to prep to go into Japan, right?
Yes.
And if the company runs into problems, then guess what? Miss Marie knows, okay, I got to communicate this to my people. I got to keep that Japan connection going. We got things rocking over there. We've run into a roadblock. We got to overcome this roadblock mentally. We got to keep people's spirits up. We got to keep them focused. What is the company doing? Hey, we got to keep our distributor force because we didn't go to Japan the way we wanted to, or the time frame we wanted to. We got to keep our distributor force focused and uplifted on going into Japan. It's going to happen, but we got to get through this. It's the exact same thing. They're facing the exact same problems that you're facing. So when you hear the company, all of a sudden, out of the blue, we got problems going to Japan. We thought we were going to be there 1st of September, and now it's going to be the 1st of October. Boom, right away, you know exactly what to do. And that helps you keep your business growing, helps keep profits up, and you're not going to have this big dip because everybody's all disappointed. Well, I quit, and then I opened in Japan in September, like they said. Right, Miss Marine? Mm-hmm. If you don't communicate with your downline, you're going to have people that don't understand, that's getting a little bit of information, rumors start running rampant, and people say, well, I'm out of here. They're not going to Japan. That's what I heard from so-and-so and so-and-so, and so-and-so told them, so that's got to be reliable. They're not going to Japan at all. That October 1st is bullcrap. They're not going in at all. Well, I quit. I'm going to go over to this company. I mean, that's the kind of thing that caused a lot of damage because you didn't take action. And what is the action? What did the company do? They put out a press release. Even though they didn't like it, what did they do, Miss Marie? They immediately communicated the challenges to what? Their distributor force. And they did what? They ended that communication in a positive note. Hey, guys, don't worry about it. This is a small hurdle that we got to get over. We're totally confident we're going to be able to overcome this. And you know what? It's a new target date of October 1st. And we're confident we're going to be able to do that. Right, Miss Marie?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do to your downline? Hey, guys, companies run into a roadblock, not a big problem. Hey, we all need to stay focused. It's going to happen. They assure me that this is something that happens in network marketing companies when they expand, and they're working it right now, and they know that they can make this happen by October 1st. So let's everybody stay focused. You know what? These things happen in life. It's no different than working for a company that was supposed to release a product line and something came up on the production line. They didn't have the parts or whatever. And guess what? They just changed the launch date on that product. So guess what, guys? Let's just all stay focused. It's just not unusual. What are you doing? Exact same thing the company's doing. You're doing damage control, right, Ms. Marine?
Well, yeah, you're doing damage control, but you're also putting the positive spin on it. And one of the things, just as an example in that case, is, hey, we have that much more time to get more of a foothold in the new country we're going into. Right. Let's take advantage of this.
Because that is positive.
Yeah, if you've been asleep at the switch, get on it now. We have a little bit extra time. We got to be ready to go.
That's right. I mean, this is a blessing. It's not a bad thing. Okay. Yep. If I was in that situation, Miss Marie, I'd be jumping up and down for joy. And that's exactly what I'd be telling my downline leaders. Like, guys, look, this is not bad. I'm jumping up for joy. This is an opportunity for us to get a bigger foothold in Japan. Guys, rock this thing. And I would tell them the story of Nu Skin, So here's the thing. Let's say the company decides they're going to add a new product line and it doesn't happen in the time frame or it doesn't have the ingredients. Guess what? The same scenario. The company comes out and says, oh my gosh, we're not going to be able to do this. We're going to have to drop this product. Let's say they have a makeup line and they promise this certain makeup and they come to find out they can't do it for whatever reason. But they're able, let's say that product line has 10 items in it and they have to drop one. So now it's only 9 items. Okay. Guess what? The same scenario, the company's going to put it out. And what do you do with your downline? You go and you tell them blah, 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 blah. Okay. There are going to be some people that are going to be upset. Okay. You got to let them be upset. Your job is not to convince them that this is a good thing. Okay. You're going to have crybabies, right, Miss Marie? There's crybabies in every facet of life. And they're going to go, ooh, and they're going to want your attention, your sympathy, and they're going to do whatever they can, whether it's yelling, screaming, crying, laying on the floor, kicking their feet, whatever, to draw attention to themselves because they're upset and mad because you said this was the way it was going to be. Like you have any control over what the company decides, right? What does that tell you? They automatically disqualify themselves from your attention because you're a professional, you're a business builder, and you are focused on positive people that want to move forward, not people that want to kick their feet, right? So that is something that happens. What does the company do? They say they put up the same thing, and they realize that there may be some people that are going to leave. They realize there are going to be a certain amount of people that are going to call customer service complaining, right, Ms. Marie? That they know that, okay? And they know that And what do they tell their customer service people? Guys, you're going to get these calls. If people are going to be upset, let them vent. That's what they're doing. They're venting. Okay, and here's the response you need to give them. All right, and that's it. That's how the company's going to handle it, because they know that people are calling because they're upset. They're going to let them vent, and they hope that most normal people, as time goes along, that frustration is going to go down. But that is up to that person whether they want to stick around or not. So it's the same thing in your business. So whatever you see the company go through, Miss Marie, that is what you're going to go through. And if you're privy enough to hear the information before it's going to be released, that gives you a heads up. And you say, well, how does that affect your business and your profits and stability? It gives you a huge advantage. Anytime you can communicate to your people accurately, that's key word, accurately, in a proper manner, and you don't add anything to it. You're just factual, like you're reading a press release, because the people, your leaders, are going to listen to every word you say. Okay, so if you add anything to it, you're putting your own business out there, and you may hang yourself. You do what? You just say exactly what the company said. Don't say any more. Don't say any less. So that when the company comes out with their official announcement, right, Miss Marie, they're going to say, well, that's exactly what Marie said. So obviously she's connected, and she didn't add anything to it. That's exactly what she said. And what do? You come out looking like a hero instead of a zero. So don't let your ego get the best of you. Don't get off track. Just get on there, say what you got to say, and say, guys, we're going to make it through this. It's not a big deal. I'm going to keep moving forward. This is a great opportunity to get even better. Right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's how you handle that. That's how you keep your profits up. That's how you keep the morale up. That's how you keep your business stable through these things. Okay. And when you know that your business is going to mimic on a smaller scale exactly what the company's going through, and they're going to address the exact same issues, that tells you, it gives you a blueprint. They're communicating to their 50,000 distributed force. What does that tell you? I need to communicate to my 5,000 people organization. Right, Miss Marie? It tells you exactly what to do. They even give you a press release. All you got to do is read it, just like these news people. They're not really news people. They're props to read prompters. I mean, it's all they are. Oh, you're pretty. Oh, you can speak well. Good. Guess what? You're hired. Right?
Yeah.
There's no reporters. I hate using that word. I don't even know if there is investigative reporting anymore.
It's called talking heads.
Exactly. You remember that group, Talking Heads?
Yep.
That was awesome. They focused on that big time. All right. So do you have anything to add, Ms. Marie, as I bring this to a close?
No, actually, I don't. I think you covered that really well, and it's one of those things where you want to reflect and kind of foreshadow what the company's doing to keep your team involved, informed, and on the right track, and boosting the positivity as much as possible.
Right. And I'm going to tell you guys, for every yin, there's a yang. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Look, even when you go through bad times, which we all have, I can tell you that there's so many blessings that came out of some of those things. I don't like to say, oh, that's bullcrap, this and that. I don't know what to tell you, but for me personally, and what I've witnessed with other people, there is a silver lining that comes out of some bad situations, okay? If you will focus in on where these silver linings are. And guess what? That's the way it is. You come out the other side sometimes better than when you went in, right, Ms. Marie?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. If you go through financial challenges and you go through really, and it's a deep hole, and you finally get yourself out 4 years, 5 years, like whatever the case may be, and you say, well, I'll never do that again. Well, what's the silver lining? You learn what not to do, and you're not doing it, right, Miss Marie?
Right.
If you're drinking every day and you realize, oh my gosh, I may have a problem, and you go and you work hard to overcome that and come out the other side, your health is going to be better. You're not drinking anymore. You're saving money. You went through a dark hole and came out the other side in a better situation. Guess what? When you have life challenges, it will sharpen you if you will look at what is the positive. Because I'm telling you, God set the world up where there's good and bad. And there's good and bad in everything. Okay? There's good that the sun shines every day. But it's also bad that we spend too much time in it unprotected.
Well, it's bad when you get sunburned.
Yes. Okay. So there's good and bad in everything, guys. All right. So, Miss Marie, I think we covered it well enough. Guys, just know as we close, okay, when you get solid, reliable information that the company is going to be doing something, announcing something, Not everything the company does. That's not what I'm saying. You got to pick and choose, all right? Only the important things, because you will wear your people out. Guys, you can count on it. Your business is going to go do the same thing. Why? Because you're sponsoring people, okay? And guess what? People make up the 50,000 distributor force for this company, okay? So you're dealing with people, no matter where they are in this company, whether they're in your business, Marie's business, or whatever. Okay, so you're dealing with people in the company. When they release something, you can say, "Oh, this is going to happen to my business. I better take control." Right, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm.
They had to take control. They had to take action, and that tells you what? I got to take control. I got to take action, and you're pretty much going to mimic them. In other words, communication. They're communicating with their distributor force. You got to communicate with your leaders and let it flow from there. All right, we did enough of that. I just wanted to make sure that we summarized it correctly. Tomorrow, Miss Marie, we are going to have tomorrow's subject, how and why you want to leverage success stories. That's a really good one. Guys, that can be huge. That can have a huge impact on your business. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Why? We're going to take a look at why and the impact they have. I'm not telling you, this is a tool, and it's a tool that if you're not using, you are shortchanging yourself and you're leaving money on the table. You're going to find out why tomorrow. All right, Miss Marie, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That is correct. I'll look forward to seeing you then.
On YouTube and Facebook, am I not correct?
Also correct.
Oh, okay. So I'm accurate. I'm passing the right information down line, right?
Yes.
All right. With that being said, guys, we're going to hop off here. God bless. Be careful. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. on our Eastern Standard Time, on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Take care.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. Download our podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast platforms. Visit our website at www.themlmsolution.net for additional important information, show details, and past shows. Follow us on Parler, Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, or the get notified button while visiting our other social media platforms.